YouTubers, very important off the wire. This was sent to me from Kimberly in Prince Edward Island. Trudeau warns of meaningful financial consequences for social media giants that don't combat hate speech. See, we get back to this issue. What is hate speech? What do you clarify as hate speech? Because everyone easily gets so offended. I remember when I lived in Vancouver and I was single on it, and there was there was a beautiful girl, beautifully dressed, and I'm like, wow, ma'am, your dress looks so beautiful today. She looked at me and got offended for me telling her that. It's like, okay, so what is hate speech? Like, what do they classify as hate speech? If somebody gets offended, it doesn't mean they're right, but what is considered hate speech? Like, if we're discussing, let's say we're discussing something, social that's going on, or something biblical that's going on. They even say that anyone that goes against global warming is hate speech. What is hate speech? Prime Minister unveils a plan for digital character to tackle misinformation and violent extremism online. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau delivers a speech at the Viva Technology Center conference in Paris Thursday, May 16, 2019. A new digital character will dictate how the country will combat hate speech, misinformation, and online electoral interference in Canada. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau told Technology Conference in Paris on Thursday. Trudeau made an announcement that Via Tech Conference, an international summit that brings together startups and technology leaders. The announcement was short on details, which Trudeau says will be revealed in various announcements over the coming weeks, but he warned there will be a hefty penalties for social media companies that don't clamp down. The platforms are failing their users and they're failing our citizens, he said. They have to set up in a major way to counter disinformation, and if they don't, we will hold them to account and there will be meaningful financial consequences. Notably, Innovation Minister Navdeep Bains is expected to talk about the initiative at the summit on digital governance in Ottawa late May. The Prime Minister said he's confident that proposed framework will restore the faith of citizens while holding platforms accountable. So, I don't understand. One day you're going to wake up one morning and guess what? Facebook's not going to be longer available in Canada, and no longer is going to be YouTube, no longer is going to be anything available in Canada. Why? Because now they're being threatened by governments. And I don't understand, I don't see anyone going out there out on limb to bash somebody or trash a culture, or I don't see that. They're acting like every second post is something that's destroying or I don't know. Like, they're even called debunking hate speech. So if you want to debunk the JFK assassination, that's hate speech, because you're going against the status quo. You want to debunk, I'm a Christian, right? So if somebody wants to go out and debunk the Catholic religion, go ahead. I'm not offended. If you want to debunk my religion, go ahead. Debunk all you want. Doesn't bother me. What bothers me is the fact that you're not allowed now to debunk my religion. And that in my religion, the Christian religion, I'm just giving you that as an example because I'm Catholic. But I wanted to tell you guys, because I'm using my religion, to go ahead and debunk all you want. Say whatever you want about my religion. I don't care. Because I know what I believe, and I believe that you have the right to voice your opinion. Whoever wants to debunk, go ahead. But that's happening all the time with the Christianity. It's other things. Social media and combating online extremism were at the top of the agendas as Trudeau winds down his 2-day trip to France. In addition to a working lunch with French President Emmanuel Macron, Trudeau met with New Zealand's Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern earlier Thursday in a bilateral meeting. Ardern said it was one thing to offer condolences following the Christchurch mosque attacks that left 51 dead, but it was quite another to put those words in action, as Canada has done in signing on to the Christchurch call, a pledge involving several world leaders and internet giants to stop the spread of hate online. Trudeau said the massacre must be a catalyst for change. Of course, so that's starting to see connecting the dots here, right, guys? When 51 people, okay, I'm not going to go into that. At the end of the summit, Facebook, Google, Twitter, and other technology giants pledged to set up their efforts to prevent their platforms from being used to spread hatred, to help extremist groups organize and broadcast attacks. So Trudeau and Ardern discussed the online violence and extremism in their respective countries, but also broach trade and security commitments around the world. Following the bilateral meeting and working lunch, Trudeau and Macron spoke. Who cares? No one cares. Two leaders discuss ensuring that the web giants and tech companies take more responsibility. What happens is, I think what happens is if you're conservative or you're conservative leaning, they want to shut that down. Ever since Hillary Clinton lost the election in the 2015 or 2016? Yeah, 2016 elections, everyone's been punished. And now, with Trudeau's government right now is failing. And it's failing to meet the requirements and the promises and everything. And what's happening with that now is they want to clamp down on anybody that goes conservative and says, you know, we believe in a conservative life and raise our kids conservatively is now considered. I think that's what they're trying to clamp on to. You know what I'm saying? Once my channel goes, guys, you can kiss everything goodbye. I'm trying to be as vanilla as possible. I'm trying to be as respectful and open-minded as possible, right? So he repeated that he was heartbroken during the visit of the fire-raged Notre Dame Cathedral. Yeah, right. He repeated a pledge on Wednesday to offer any support needed to. Yeah, okay. The Prime Minister was met. Wikipedia founder. Another hoopla there. So yeah. There's 160,000 or 180,000 in Wikipedia that speak Portuguese in the world, because we don't want to offend too many people by having too many European or European-based countries as the biggest languages in the world. God forbid. So I worked for Census You Counted in 2010 or 2008. We did the census for Brazil. 208 million people speak Portuguese in Brazil as a first language, the population in South America is 350. Wikipedia puts it at 170 million or 180 million Portuguese, and then they blocked me from updating any numbers. I'm like, but I volunteer for Census You Counted. Like, it doesn't matter. This is what it is. But Africa, 108 million speakers that speak Portuguese, very organized country, organized language. Portuguese were in Africa for 500 years. I went on Wikipedia to say, look, there's more than 308 million people that speak Portuguese in the world. No, we can't have that. So they stopped me from updating that. But like, I could show you numbers. We don't care. This is how many people speak Portuguese. So misinformation, miss this and miss that. And like I said, 100 years from now, Iraq did have weapons of mass destruction, and the Americans and the Canadians too, when they're to free and save the world. Why? Because none of us will be alive to tell people what really happened. Because now that everything's gone digital, they could easily book burn on a regular basis. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. What is happening? Why is this happening? Once we start losing everything, guys, you're going to start seeing how hard things really get. Comment below. Let me know.